Welcome to episode 5 of Behaviour Besties. I used to play 90s boy band music, living my best life.
I had a full-on cry in the classroom.
How do you make time in your timetables for well-being with pressures of the curriculum?
Is there anything you want to tell me? Sometimes they say yes.
If they've come in and they've said they're feeling really tired, you know that their energy is going to dip towards the afternoon.
If you don't have a TA like I didn't, you don't have the time to say, what is it, babe?
It was a space for them to explore how they were feeling. It's just beautiful. The time is beautiful.
What's up, Maslow? Welcome to episode 5 of Behaviour Besties, aka the staff room you want to be a part of. I'm here with Soph. And Evie.
Woo!
I just didn't know what sound was going to come out.
Neither did I until it happened.
I was like, is it going to be like a meow? I was kind of hoping that one. Our game this week is I Have Never. Okay. I have never. Well, obviously, we're not doing the drinking version. If you have, we just say if you have, because it's podcast, we're going to raise our hand. I have never sworn in the classroom.
Never.
Oh, just me.
Just you.
Guys, listen, this is so mad, right? The time that I actually swore in the classroom was in my second year of teaching. And I used to have, for soft start, I used to play 90s boy band music, living my best life. And it was Backstreet Boys. And I said the lyrics wrong. And I just said, oh, and I swore. And I said it under my breath, but I thought, Jen, that's it? That's what made you swear? The 90s boy band? But yeah, so that's the only time. Cried in the toilet.
I definitely have.
Not in the toilet.
Oh, where did you cry?
Just my classroom.
Yeah, I cry most times in the classroom. Mostly out of joy. I'm so proud of you guys. But have you had
I had a full-on cry in the classroom.
Yeah.
And my nursery nurse hugged me. And then one of the kids was like, is she saying sorry because she hurt you? And I was like, no, she's making me feel better.
Oh, that's nice. Imagine if you were like, yeah, it was her.
Yeah, she really did.
It was Lorraine. Had a wardrobe malfunction at school.
Yeah. Well, on the way out of school, my jeans ripped.
It's not ideal.
But like in a thigh. It was fireworks night, so it was lucky.
I love how you're painting the scene.
I just remember it so vividly, getting in the car thinking, I shouldn't be able to feel my own legs like this.
So?
No, none at all.
Okay, I'll share mine. I got to school and I felt something like a bit flappy. And I had put my coat on over my dressing gown. My dressing gown was flapping on the floor like a train.
Oh, God.
And I had got all the way to school on the bus.
People said
I was in there
nothing.
for a
That's
while.
the worst bit.
I could not cope.
People said nothing.
No.
You had normal clothes underneath though, yes?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah,
Okay.
I was just getting
It
ready
was
my
savable.
dressing gown. I just can't cope.
Poor dressing gown.
Tripped at school.
Yeah. Constantly.
Isn't
I mean,
it horrible?
I do it all the time.
So fun.
No, I trip.
Over
over kids,
children all the time.
over the children's toys.
Yeah.
Oh, no, but
Yeah.
like a fool.
Yeah, of course.
I don't think I full on
Oh, I've done some bad ones. And you feel so vulnerable because you're supposed to be in control. And
Yeah.
you're so
Yeah.
embarrassed and
Yeah,
flustered.
it's when
On
the
the floor.
TA helps you up, like,
I hurt
Oh,
myself
dear.
so bad
Yeah.
once and I was in so much pain trying not to cry. It was so embarrassing.
oh my God.
Said I understood and walked out confused.
Oh,
I feel like that's me all the time.
Life.
Yeah.
Yeah, got it. No problem.
Got it.
yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, it happens every day. Every day we all do that. Okay, called in sick when I wasn't.
No.
No, never called in.
Right, here's the thing. I think when I'm mentally need help, like when I'm feeling burnt out, it comes out physically. So maybe I wasn't like fully sick, but I was sick in a way. Like I would be like, I think I need a day off. And James would be like, do you? And I'd be like, yes. But I don't think that's bad still. I still think you should have a mental health.
It wasn't just I want to watch Netflix.
It wasn't that. It wasn't that. It was like, I need a little bit. Ate something in class.
Oh, yeah.
all the time.
Cool. Oh my goodness, I feel so safe now.
Yeah,
what a safe
all the
space.
time.
Yeah, sometimes that's why you have a snack drawer, isn't it?
Yeah, that's what it's for.
I would
cupboard.
encourage that for kids though.
Yeah.
If like I could, I would be like, look, you want to eat.
Snack
I have
the
had
time.
children this week that have.
Yeah, I think that's
just
cool because you
the way
need
it goes.
you can't function, can you?
No, you need a little...
Beautiful.
They'd have to find out what I've got as well. They're always intrigued.
Don't look at my drawer. All right, let's go to our question of the week from our lovely Cara. She says, how do you make time in your timetables for well-being with pressures of the curriculum to add in too? I find when I do any sort of well-being or emotional work, it's great, but can also open a can of worms, revealing more problems than I thought was possible. I feel as though I need to tailor more one-to-one time with individuals in my class to look deeper at their needs and how to manage and to suit them. I do feel that my well-being drop-ins are helpful, but I cannot go into depth without finding time like lunch break to deal with it. And I'm sure you're aware that time of break is for teachers is precious. I have no TA who I could call upon to talk with a child if I needed to support their mental well-being. I love this question.
Yeah, same.
I think it's really prominent. And I don't know if you girls feel the same, but now more than ever, I feel like the curriculum is super demanding.
For sure.
It feels like we have to fit so much in.
I feel like every staff meeting, it's like, and you also now need to do this and put it in your timetable. And it's like, oh, okay.
And it's all
so chock-a-block.
like good stuff. It's all got a point.
Yeah.
But yeah, it's time.
And I also feel, I mean, I've said this before, but that we use COVID as the time in our life. But I do feel like after COVID, there is so much more need for this. Like when I was whole class teaching after COVID and I didn't have a TA, this absolutely what Cara said was my experience. I was like, this is crazy. Because I can really explicitly see that my children need emotional support. And yet I'm being pulled to do X, Y, Z within the curriculum. And that is impossible. We know that that well-being comes first. Like we said, don't we, Evie? Well-being, everything else. So we know that investing in well-being is going to support learning, is going to support behavior. But I totally hear Cara in that. Where do you put this in the curriculum? How do you actually apply this and make it work? So I'm going to kick off with you, Evie.
Please do.
With one of our fave TGMC strategies. It's wellbeing check-ins, baby.
Yeah. So like Cara said, wellbeing check-ins, I love them so much. It's just a simple thing to do. I have mine, and just like in my soft start in the morning, the children know their routine as they come in, they check in, and throughout the morning really, I can check in with them, see how they're feeling, dive a little bit deeper just whilst they're quiet working, whilst I'm helicoptering around the room. It's just I see that you put your counter in the salad box this morning. Is there anything you want to tell me? Sometimes they say yes, great. Sometimes they say no. I can give them the alternative of writing it down. That also takes, for somebody that's got such precious time, I'm really lucky I've got other adults in my room. But for somebody that doesn't, writing it down, leaving it in our message monster for later, I can say, I will read it later. That's great. And it does, like she said, it can open up more conversations and leave you with thinking, okay, we're going to need to develop that. But then that guides things that I guess we'll talk about a bit later, but that then guides your other sessions, those other things that you're going to need to talk about with your children. And it's seeing it as not necessarily, oh gosh, I've got so much more now to deal with. It's okay, this is a common thing I'm picking up. How are we going to work together? It refocuses almost. So it's helpful to guide where you need to go.
I just want to explicitly say, in case anyone's listening and doesn't know what a wellbeing check-in is, because we live and breathe them.
Yes.
A wellbeing check-in is quite literally saying, how are you feeling today? Isn't it? And there are a variety of ways you can do this. We have so many within TGMC, but I know one of the ways that you do it is a morning wellbeing check-in. You've done that as well,
yes,
so haven't you, with your younger
morning,
learners?
Afternoon. And I think also, just to add on your point, it really helps you know what that child's day is going to look like. If they've come in and they've said they're feeling really tired, you know that their energy is going to dip towards the afternoon, and you can make adjustments for that, compensation for that. And I think if you do those check-ins, you get a general vibe about how the day is going to turn out and what you might need to adapt or shift or what your timetable is going to look like that day, and you're going to think about, okay, what can I do? They're going to need a movement break this afternoon because they're going to start lagging because they've all put in that they're tired.
Absolutely. So it might be that you're doing a morning check-in routine and you're thinking about how you adapt your morning, but also it might be a desk check-in where children can continually tell you how they're feeling. It might be a register check-in where you're saying Sophie, and you might say an emotion or you might say a colour. And just like you're saying, Soph, you can then think as that adult and as that anchor in the room, okay, lots of you have said tired, or lots of you have said excited. How can we harness that energy? Because like you were saying, Evie, in terms of where we're investing our time, yes, it does take time with well-being, but if children are not ready to learn, they're not learning. Period.
It's huge.
And we are going to see it in their learning. We'll see it because we're continually stopping the class, bringing them together. What's going on? Why are we still talking? We'll see it in their unsettled behaviour as well. So if we invest in that well-being, because we know it's intrinsically linked to the curriculum and to behaviour, then we're going to see our time back. I'm feeling like an analogy into investments, but I'm not that
You just have to be
strong.
brave. Like, it's hard sometimes to think, oh gosh, okay, I'm going to be taking 10 minutes off of my English lesson, but take that leap one day. If it doesn't work, it doesn't work. You can change that. At the end of the day, that's 10 minutes out of a 60-minute English lesson. And that 10 minutes, personally, I found taking the time, slowing it down, taking 10 minutes to do something else sets them up, like you've said, for their learning. It's just, investing the time. And
I think it's also thinking about our own point of view.
Yeah.
Like if we were I have an explicit experience of going into a staff meeting, something happened before that staff meeting that triggered me and that made me feel upset. And I'll tell you, I was not listening to anything in that staff meeting. After that staff meeting, I spoke to my senior leaders. They were so gorgeous. They were really helpful. But ultimately, if there was a check-in in life and I said something's wrong and they spoke to me, then I would have been able to access the staff meeting.
Yeah.
It's not kind of like a different rule for children and adults. We need our emotional needs met in order to learn better. So I think it's just kind of finding how we adapt that. So I'm going to circle back to check-ins and what we do afterwards, because I feel like that is a stress of like, okay, so many people have said this. So one thing that we use is the nonverbal communication board in TGMC, which if you don't know, is just visuals of what is wrong. So it could be toilet, it could be argument, it could be feel sick. So what happens then is that child feels seen and acknowledged. So they've said, I'm tired, or they said, I'm ill, and you haven't just cracked on with the lesson, you know? You've said,
great.
So I see that you've put that, just like you said, Evie, I see that you've put that. Come tell me what's wrong. But if you don't have a TA like I didn't, you don't have the time to say, what is it, babe? And you also don't want to rush them. If someone was coming to me like, what is it, Jen? Just say it. Just say what's wrong. I'd be like, I'm just
Say it in 3 words.
If you could just say it in the next 60 seconds, like that's not normal, is it? That's not how we kind of regulate. So having that nonverbal communication board allows that child to regulate, allows them to share what's wrong, and you can therefore put an action in place to support them. So far we've said wellbeing check-ins, we've said nonverbal communication boards, we've said investing in that time. And let's also talk about communication box. Soph, do you want to lead on communication box?
Yeah, it's kind of like, it's like, I just love a communication box, because it means that they know that at some point in the day, you are going to read that and you've already committed by putting that box there, that you're making that commitment. And I think it's really important for children to have that space where if they can't verbally get it out at that moment in time, they can say, okay, right, I've got an opportunity just to communicate my needs, and my teacher's going to hear it and she's going to know and know exactly what I'm going through right now. And it means that when you do read it and they do have a wobble or something, you can say, oh, I understand. I know you said you're feeling tired right now. You said you're feeling tired this morning. I hear it. Let's see what we can do to push forward. And what our next step, what do you need? Do you need a little movement break? Do you need some time in a calm space?
And moving that forward.
Yeah,
absolutely.
definitely.
Most of my children will choose to write me something rather than explaining it. And time concern wise, it's really helpful, but also it gives me the time to actually think about what my response is going to be. So it's so helpful in so many different ways.
And in case people were wondering, a communication box is quite literally where children write something and put it in a box. And I often get asked the same questions, which is what if they can't write, then they can do a drawing. And also, when do you do it? And I think that you can dictate that as the teacher. For me, it was when transitions, when they come in the morning, play, lunch, and it was my guarantee to them that I would check them at the end of the day. And I think it's for you to set those boundaries of what's realistic to you. But the most important thing is getting back to them. And there is nothing more priceless when you say that you've read it and you've spoken to them about it. And we very clearly say it's not a worry box, don't we? Because if we say it's a worry box, it's the same way if we said it's a sad box, your sad box, you know? It's that stereotype of that if I'm putting something in there, something's wrong with me.
And also that I can only put it in if I'm worried about something.
Exactly.
Yeah.
And then sometimes we can get connection seeking behavior from that. Of course, we want to accept all emotions, and we want children to feel like they can tell us all emotions. But when we label it a communication box, it's another way that they can just connect with us. And it's another way to make sure that we get those actual worries rather than them suppressing it. And I just wanted to go with a last strategy, which we have kind of touched on. I know you said, Evie, that it's easier when children write it. Let's talk about journaling, baby.
Yes.
We love journaling at TGMC.
Yeah.
And we have a whole toolkit about how to do that within your classroom. You've done journaling with your children?
Journaling, yeah. Currently running a journaling club.
Of course you are.
That's too cute.
Yeah, loving it. Inspired by other TGMCers. But yeah, it just, for me, it was again, a time thing. Yes, I know I can journal in the mornings when we're doing soft starts, but sometimes we do need to respond to maths work, and sometimes there is places that we need to find things from the curriculum for. But doing a journaling club at lunchtimes allowed me to support the children that they felt they needed it. These are the children that are getting involved, and it was a space for them to explore how they were feeling, for me to explicitly say, look, today we're going to explore this feeling, and today let's explore it in a different way. And it's just a time without those pressures, without any other things that you need to take in. It's purely just that time, whether it's a club or whether it's as a morning job, time for them. And I think they see it, and it's just beautiful. The time is beautiful.
The thing is, there is so much research behind journaling, and there are so many journals for adults. It just makes sense to drip this into our curriculum for children. We know it's going to support them with their expression, their regulation, their processing. But it's also, just like you said, it's their own book. It's just an exercise book. I'm not saying we're going to get some hardback beautiful thing, but it's their own book that they can write in and express themselves through colour, through drawing, through writing. And we talked about how there are always going to be times in the day where they can do that, whether we set it last 10 minutes of the day, or whether it's within transitions as they come in the first 5 minutes, or when behaviour comes up. Or when you're doing a check-in, it could be a nonverbal communication board, or it could be journaling. And that is a really lovely way to communicate, because it's the child's chosen way. It's not on our terms. They're telling us what they need to communicate. And I think that's a really special thing to tap into and really doable.
Yeah.
In your
Timings
classroom.
wise, we've all got whiteboards in our classrooms. Hey, mine are on my tables. Within 10 seconds, all of my children can have a whiteboard and pen in front of them.
Absolutely. All right, let's do our summary. So we said wellbeing check-ins, and actually I'm going to try and put this in an order, right? Yeah, why not? So we said wellbeing check-ins, and then that could follow with nonverbal communication boards and journaling. Yeah, no, it's tasty. But we can also have the communication box, which I think works alongside wellbeing check-ins, doesn't it? Okay. Let's go to our TGMC mantra of the week. So our mantra this week is, we can't do our best if we're stressed. Thoughts on this one, ladies?
I think it's perfect. I think it does really correlate to, you know, when you said that you can't think about anything else if you've got something at the back of your mind, you can't focus on anything else. And I think allowing that space through our wellbeing check-ins to just literally physically or mentally just get that out so that you can move forward and focus on your day. And I think it's so important.
Why not journal with the children? Hey,
absolutely.
Model it.
That's
And
what I love
also-
about this mantra. It works for them and it works for us as well. And do you know what? I haven't mentioned my main man yet. And I think now's the perfect time. It's Maslow before Bloom, baby. What's up, Maslow? Shout out to all the babes listening. We'll catch you next week for more behaviour support. You can find us at the only behaviour encyclopedia in the world. What is it?
TGMC.
www.goodmorningmissfoster.com/TGMC. Bye, babes.
See you later.